What a beautiful morning it is. It's not only visually beautiful, but the sounds are beautiful as well. Just listen. It's so beneficial to get out and hear nature and experience it and connect with it with all of our different senses. Whether you live in the city or out in the country, it's important that we all get out to do this every now and then. But as beautiful as these natural sounds are right now this morning, last night it was complete opposite. They were natural sounds, but they were intimidating and fearful sounds because we had a tornado watch and tornado warnings here in our area last night, and the thunderstorms and rain and wind were going big time. And I don't know what it is about the wind when it comes through, but whenever we have high winds, there's this feeling and wave of anxiety that comes in me, and it just, oh man, it's just rough to fight that negative energy. It's not like I have bunch of these negative thoughts running in my mind. It's just this wave of energy that's just hard to beat. But the past couple days, there's been storms coming through the south that had thunderstorms and high winds and some tornadoes. And I know a number of people from seeing the news have been affected by it. So hope we all please keep those people in your thoughts and your prayers. I don't think we had any damage around here from the storms last night, and thankfully we didn't have any tornadoes touch down near us. But need to go out and do our chores and just walk around and make sure everything is all right. Everything looks good in here in the greenhouse, and that hasn't been the case before. But last year we went ahead and concreted in the 4 corners of our greenhouse. So because in the past we've had where wind has come through and actually lifted up our greenhouse, and that wasn't fun to deal with. But everything looks totally fine in here. Here in our market garden, where we have the caterpillar tunnel, there was a hole in the plastic, and the wind was getting through and was just beating it up more. So I went ahead and took plastic down, and this wasn't the storm that we had last night. It was actually a storm a couple weeks ago. So the wind didn't do any damage to that from the storm we had last night, but I went ahead and took it down, and we'll secure it back up and tidy it back up another time. But things are looking good here in the garden. Bok choy, it's looking good. Has some lettuce down here in our low tunnels, which actually didn't get uncovered, so that's good. All right, looks like the chickens down here at the bottom of the market garden look like they are doing well. And not too long ago, we moved them down here, and it had vegetation on here, and they have gone to town with clearing it out and eating it up. So one of the challenges at this time of year is vegetation for our chickens and our ducks. It's just not an abundance of it. So one of the things that I plan to do as I'm cleaning out and clearing out this area up here, as you may have seen, especially if you've been following along with me on the channel, is I've been clearing out areas, culling out a number of trees, just so we have better areas to manage our livestock. And I want to create docking stations for them in the winter time, so that way we can just have them park and stay there for a few months until spring comes around, things start growing again, then we can just add mulch, and that could be their bedding, and not worry about scrambling around trying to find areas for them to have vegetation, and just bring what we can to them. But it's really complicated moving them around in all the mud. So we're gonna try to limit that at this time of year. And right back there are our ducklings. They're pretty much ducks now that we got from Murray McMurray not too long ago. So from here, it looks like they're fine. Let's go check on them a little closer and move them on to some fresh grass. Looks like everybody in here is doing well. They're just ready for some new grass. They've eaten it all up, and they eat a lot of the leaves. They eat a little bit of everything with the vegetation they grow. So let's get them moving. Right now I'm taking these ducks in their duck tractor and we're just circling around the market garden to the areas that we have grass. And then we're gonna dock them in the area with the Premier One fencing at some point, but we're still managing a number of areas to get that ready. Next, let's head up to the top here. We're gonna check on our chickens and ducks and our goose Greg at the top of the hill, top portion of where we have our homestead. So this area right up here is the area I've been working on, clearing out a number of trees. I don't know how many trees I've cleared out already, but you can see some of the debris still left from the roots, stumps, things like that. But this is going to be the area where I plan to have grass growing where we can bring in our chickens and ducks to have just in pasture area to graze. And you can also see here some of the wood that we cut up. We're going to be reusing that wood. It's going to be going to heat our yurt. And right over here we have our new chicks that we have gotten also from Murray McMurray. Let's check on them. And they're looking good as well. But it's time to move their tractor. And as I'm moving the chicks here and the ducklings down there, and at times the other chickens and ducks that we have here on the property, move them around the garden areas, not only are they eating up the old vegetation that is there, but they're also adding good natural, do-it-yourself fertilizer to the soil for when we come to grow things again in the spring. Okay, as I'm up here, I can also check on our chickens and ducks here at the very top, and they seem to be doing just fine. They've been here for a while now, and over the past few months they've been helping me. Have been my forerunners in going through clearing out the vegetation, so that way I can come in and cull these trees out more effectively without having to wrestle a bunch of poison ivy and just other things. So they've done a great job at that. But now that they've been here for a while and we've had all the rain that we've had, their area is pretty muddy. So what I need to do is we need to move them this morning, and also have some mulch that we get, and we're going to spread that into the area that they're in so that they can have their docking station for the next few weeks and have it sanitary. We can just keep adding mulch and wood chips to it periodically. Hey Micah.
Now back.
He's back. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey guys, this morning I went ahead and moved the ducklings and the chicks. Could you go ahead and give them some new feed and water for me? And then after that, we're going to go ahead and move the chickens and ducks at the top, set them up a new area. You guys gonna help me out?
Yeah. Let's go do it.
Yes, sir.
And then pick it up. Hey, look at me. I'm clean of the dinosaurs. Orange is good. Well, not this time.
It always sounds a little more interesting when you kind of use a different voice, like, all right. What we're gonna do is, first we have two Premier One fencing netting. I think this one's called the permanetting on one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cap off one of those sections. We're gonna need to move the chickens and ducks over, so that way we can cap it off. But first, I'm gonna use the one fence that I just brought over, and it really comes in handy having an extra fence as you're moving them around. It just kind of helps without having to have them just go break free and prison break on you. So what we're gonna do is just attach this fence here first and then start capping off the other section as the kids help me out with moving them over to this side, so that way we can cap off. Before we get started, I guess I should move these forks here out of the way so that way I can run my fence through. Could use a skid steer, but I guess I need a little bit of exercise today, so I'm gonna see if I can move it by hand. Think Colossus can move it? There we go. Can't have you saying the Fit Farmer's going soft and not moving anything anymore. Like getting some rows in, one arm rows. Hit. Whoop. There we go. Thank you, camera guy. Super Micah. All right, now that I got this section of the fence up, Selah and Josiah are back from feeding the ducklings and chicks. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this side up, and a lot of them should start coming right in here into this new area. They usually are attracted to the new vegetation. So hopefully we won't have any problems, and then after that we can kind of get the other ones that are on the back side, push them up here, and then cap that side off. But we're just gonna see how it goes. Super Micah, are you wandering over the fence? You can't fly over it?
No.
Whoa. All right, so let's see if this works. We're just gonna open this up, just like this. Come on, man. Yeah, there we go. It's usually better if you're opening a section up, but they have to climb over it, and we'll see how it goes. I encourage them to come over this way. Calling them, Selah? There they go, they're starting to come. You calling them, Micah? They're going over there. Josiah, you're doing a good job up there. Encourage them to come. Way to herd them over. What have you learned, Josiah, as you're herding these?
To stick your arms out and they will go in there better.
And what else? Focus on
The flock.
One of the things that I've tried to do to encourage the kids to herd them properly, sometimes you're going to have one or two that go off astray, but to focus on the group, focus on the whole, focus on the flock, and then once you get the whole group in, then you can come back and focus on the individuals. There we go. Good job, Micah. You getting them?
I'm whipping them.
Turn around, hold your hands out. All right, we'll try to get this few over here. Alright, another thing we're doing is we're using the fence to help us herd them. Go back over that way, go back over that way. Hold your arms out. That one's over there.
Daddy, a chicken.
There's a chicken.
Honey.
Alright, watch out, hop off the fence. Alright, we got all but it looks like 3 in. We can kind of get those by hand. We're just going to close this up so the whole group we don't lose control of the whole group. Right now they're enjoying some of the leaves and vegetation over there. So the next things we're going to do is we're going to move some of their items like the nesting box and things like that over here, and then cap off this section of the fence by taking up the other one that is there. So that way they'll have a nice run from here all the way over to here, and we can spread out this mulch. Micah, are you gonna stay in there with the chickens?
No.
No.
B, let me out. B.
Yes, I'll get you out. Sure you don't want to stay in there?
No.
Super Micah to the rescue!
That did.
Was that fun? Alright, Josiah, as I'm gathering up this fence here, can you get the eggs in there? There's eggs all over the place. With all the rain and crazy weather we've had, on top of this area not being as orderly as it should, the eggs are getting quite messy and muddy over top of them. They're still good, but just the rain is just washing mud and dirt all over the place, which is another reason why I'm going to be having the mulch for them in this area up here. Just makes things cleaner at this time of year. Alrighty, so we've had to raise our chickens in this wooded area, mainly out of necessity because we don't have huge pasture areas. Not that we've had any, except for just grass areas that we've raised them in. But as we're clearing out this area, it has been a challenge, and it is a challenge raising chickens in the wooded areas because you're having to work around trees and all the different things that are growing in branches. This is why we are changing up the system here. There we go. While I show this aspect of homesteading, kind of that's the real. It's not the prettiest thing, it's not the glamorous. We don't have everything ironed out yet, but that's the way it goes. All right, now that I have blocked off our other fence netting that we had up, now I'm just gonna take up this wall, this other fence that we had as a divider, and just have it all connected together. Crazy, as I was moving the fence, the chicken just runs right into the net and is stuck.
Okay, here she goes. This goes back through here.
Is that interesting?
This way, this way. Hold on, don't pull because I think it's still over here. Now pick her up.
There we go.
She's out. Thanks for getting her out. Like I told you, it's not always pretty. It's just the ugly sides of homesteading sometimes. The joys of dealing with this fence and sticks and everything else. Ah! It's being real again.
Here.
Okay, the next thing I gotta do is bring the chicksaw from over there to over here. But as you can see, there's a number of obstacles. Thus is another reason why clearing it out. So I think I'm gonna take it out the way I brought it in, which is back it out and come all the way around. Be nice and easy if it was straight shot. I didn't think this through ahead of time. And where I'm bringing the chicksaw is right where we still have the wood. Alright, so we'll just finish pulling this wood out. Then I can move the chicksaw back in. We have a couple chickens that are trying to go back to their old area, and that's what happens. They get comfortable in there and they come back to it. So without their home here, it's making them want to go back to that area even more. So we'll bring their home, even though it's not the most glamorous, back to this new area, or into this new area. So after we moved our flock of chickens and ducks, set up their fencing, as well as moved in the chicken tractor, next I brought in the excavator to spread out free mulch that we get from our local county. So as hard as it is to admit and to share, these were some of the uglier aspects of my homestead. I know, for those of you who like to see things more manicured and pristine, not every aspect of a homestead is always pretty, especially if you're starting off from scratch and building a homestead. There's some ugly sides. Yes, I plan to improve the side, and I plan to look forward to getting back out there and removing some of those trees and to continue to make it look better, but it's just not there yet. And if you're going into homesteading, or you're currently homesteading, it's okay to have some ugly sides. That's just real. Well, that's it for this video. The Fit Farmer here, being real with you. We'll see you next time. As always, be strong, grow on, and live life without excuses. See you next time.